A man who can perform regardless of how he feels will always outperform the man who depends on motivation in order to perform. The reality is that there are going to be times in your life where you are unmotivated. You've been working really hard, you've been putting in the hours, and you want to rest. You don't want to stay up that little bit later and burn the midnight oil doing the work on the computer that is necessary to grow your business, or is necessary to earn that bit of commission, or to further your skills and knowledge. You don't want to get in the gym. You've had a long day. You're feeling tired. But you know that you should. There are gonna be moments like this in your life. Now, these moments present us with a decision. You know, you can either do the thing that you know is going to help you to grow. You can either do the thing that you know is going to make you a better man, a more skilled man, a more capable man, or you can opt to take it easy. You can opt to listen to your feelings within the moment and take some rest. Now look, I'm not trying to say that you don't need to take rest sometimes. You do. Sometimes you can get really close to being burnt out. And when you're burnt out, what that means is, you know, you're fried. So tomorrow you're fried as well. And sometimes you need to be strategic and you need to take a little bit of rest and ensure that you're not damaging future you and his ability to perform. But if we're honest with ourselves, there are a lot of times where we don't feel motivated, whereby we could still do the work. Now, there are times you don't want to go to the gym and you say, I'm tired, I'm fed up, but you absolutely have the capacity to do so. Now, these moments are make or break, because it may seem like an isolated event. It may seem like a one-time thing. You know, if I miss the gym, it's only one day. But the reality is, it's never isolated. When you make these decisions to give in and not exercise discipline, be undisciplined, listen to your feelings, they compound very quickly. It turns from not going to the gym for one day into a few days. It then starts to affect your diet and you start making poorer choices. You then start to neglect some of your good habits and maybe dive into some bad habits. And some guys will go an entire lifetime living in this constant spiral, living in this constantly negative state where they're almost engaging in a persistent form of self-destruction. Now, a lot of guys figure this out far too late. By the time they've figured out the importance of discipline, they already have an expensive mortgage. They already have a wife and children and responsibilities that they can't get away from. They make some changes, but ultimately they are restricted by their responsibilities. And they wasted a lot of time. Now, I do believe that you can always turn things around as long as you're breathing. I do believe that, you know, it's not over until the fat lady sings. But some things are harder to do with time and with added responsibilities that come with that time. So if you're a young guy watching this video right now, I want you to, when you are experiencing moments of low motivation and a decision is presented in front of you to either take it easy or do the work, I want you to consider the man that you want to become, the lifestyle you want to live, the home you want to have. I want you to think of your dream life, your wife, your family. And I want to ask you, what do you think it's going to take? What do you think it's going to take to achieve that reality? Because I can tell you that those things are not going to come through taking shortcuts. It's not going to happen. And I can tell you that more than likely you're not going to win the lottery. More than likely nobody's going to hand you this life. It's not just going to be presented to you on a silver platter. And it's very likely that the life that you want is going to require sacrifice and hard work. And it's going to require you to perform and take action when you are unmotivated, when you don't want to get out of bed, when you don't want to hop in the cold shower, get out of the house really early in the morning and get to work, when you don't want to get to the gym, when you don't want to burn the midnight oil and type away on the computer, building up your business. Those are the moments that will either break or shape the reality that you want, the life that you want. And as I said, look, it's not about being a guy who is just constantly always on the ball, never ever making mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. And sometimes you are going to give in and listen to your feelings and take it easy. As life, we're not perfect. And sometimes that lack of perfection allows us to appreciate life and appreciate our good work. So look, you're not going to be perfect, but you want to be a guy who 90 to 95% of the time does the work. He shows up. He pushes himself when no one's watching you as well. You need to be the guy that doesn't require applause. He doesn't require people telling him how well he's done. He doesn't need to tell people he's doing the work. He doesn't need to post online and on social media about the work he's doing. He just shows up. Consistently, without depending on anyone else for motivation, without depending on motivation at all. See, if you behave like that, and God willing you have time, we don't know when our time is going to be cut short on this earth, we just don't, it's a fact. But if you behave like that, and you have time to build up some consistency, and build up your wealth, and build up your business, or whatever it is that you are doing, you're almost guaranteed success. Sometimes things can happen that are out of our control. Sometimes things can come up that have nothing to do with us, global events, current affairs, etc. But generally the blueprint is as such. In order to become successful, you got to work very hard, consistently, often for a very long time, and sometimes without even evidence that what you are doing is working. But then there will come a moment where it pays off and you are rewarded. But you know, if you are always the guy who is just giving in to his feelings, he feels a little bit tired, so he packs up for the day. He feels a little bit unmotivated, so he listens to those emotions and sulks and doesn't do anything. That is a formula for disaster. That is a formula for an unfulfilled life. Yes, a man who is disciplined gets tired. Yes, he does. Sometimes he gets damn near close to burnout. Sometimes he does get burnt out. But his feeling of tiredness is not nearly as bad as the feeling of tiredness that the undisciplined man experiences on a regular basis. The undisciplined man is exhausted. not because of his work, but because of the state of his life. He is tired of being a loser. He is tired of being broke. He is tired of being unsuccessful and tired of just living a life without meaning. It's exhausting. And we all have to choose our pain. You got to decide, which man do you want to be? I would much rather be exhausted because of the good work that I have done than be exhausted because I am so tired of my current reality and I am so tired of being a loser. I know absolutely I would rather be flat out exhausted and tired because I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, as opposed to just being fed up with the state of my life. That's a reality that's extremely painful. And you got to choose your pain. So choose right. When these decisions are presented to you, choose discipline. Choose pushing yourself that little bit more, even when you don't want to, because in the long run, that will reward you far more than a little bit of rest, than taking it easy, than coasting, than pursuing comfort. So look, if you are a man who is serious about success and you really want the things that you say you want, the choice is yours. Discipline or regret. Anyway, if you took some value from this video today, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Check out the links down below in the description of this video. Join the Discord. There's over 55 guys in there right now making great progress both personally and professionally. It's a great community of guys who are really diving into their self-improvement. Some guys with a real business mindset, so some of you guys are looking to start something of your own. Be sure to join the community and communicate with like-minded men. And look, if you are interested, I am offering my one-to-one coaching services. There is a link down below in the description of this video. So if you want to work with me one-to-one, click the link down below. There is a link specifically to a free 30-minute call with me so we can make an introduction and see if we are a good fit to indeed go ahead working together. So if you're interested in working with me, you've been watching me for a while, you want to work with me closer, hit that link down below. Anyway guys, as always, thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.